She wore blue.
I started with David Lynch in 1986 when he was shooting the film Blue Velvet. I was home one day and I received a phone call from the line producer of the movie, Fred Caruso, and another friend, Peter Runfellow, who were working for Dino De Laurentiis on Blue Velvet. And these were two friends of mine who knew that, as well as my being a composer, more importantly, they needed someone to work with Isabella Rossellini for the movie Blue Velvet because she had to sing a couple of songs in the movie.
Bluer than velvet was the night.
I received a phone call and I met with Isabella. And together, me on the piano and her singing, we stayed in a room for about 4 or 5 hours and we worked on the main title song, Blue Velvet, with this piano, and put a little cassette on the piano. And after that, we got a good take, just to show David that she was very happy with and I was happy with. And then we went over to the set. And I first met David there. We were introduced to each other. David put on his earphones, listened to it, and just loved it.
I think you are the most extraordinary composer for cinema of the last 20 years.
Thank you so much.
You have your own style, and it's not only an Italian style.
Number one, you know, I love melody. Melody is a very important part of my world. However, the melody has to be nothing that's saccharine or sweet. It's a melody that's got a little sadness to it, maybe. Maybe it's a melody that's a little bit tragic. You know, a lot of people have said, well, it's maybe tragically beautiful.
I've heard you work with David. Sometimes you worked on a synthesizer, watching the images.
With David, we just seemed to have this relationship immediately. And he would come to New York and just spend time with me in my office. And I would have a keyboard. And he would say, Angelo, you know, I'm thinking about this new project. He would just, Twin Peaks. It's a perfect example because it was one of the earlier projects because that was in the 91, 92 or something. And David would sit next to me on the right. I would have a keyboard. We'd only put a little cassette on, at that time, it was a Fender Rhodes that I had in the office. And he would say, okay, and then he would bring his voice down very quietly and say, okay, Angelo, we're in a dark woods. And in the back, there's trees and there's a wind blowing and there's an owl in the background. And now from behind a sycamore tree comes a very lonely looking, beautiful teenage girl. Can you give me a mood? And just from that description, I would play, you know, oh, Angelo, beautiful. Just keep that going. Keep that going longer. Oh, can you play it slower? I would play it even slower. My goodness, how slow can you play, you know? And I would do that. And now we'd say, the girl comes closer. Can you go into a melody that reflects her? And then I would change the mood and got into the Laura Palmer. Now let it build. And he would just give these directions. And for some reason, he could just talk, and I would just move. Now let it reach a climax, and let it build. Oh, and Angelo, it's beautiful, beautiful. It's slower, you know. And now let it fall down. Now she's moving away, and let it come down. Let it keep falling, and I would play. And now Angelo, go back into the dark world. And I would see, turn around, and I would see tears in David's eyes. He says, Angelo, the hair's standing up on my arm. He says, you've created a mood. You've created Twin Peaks.